Hey, are we here? Let's see. Let's just see if we're here live or not. Let's see, are we live? Are we here? Okay, hi folks. I guess we are live here on our podcast. And I'll open it up and tell you that my name's Bill McPhee, and I am the host for helping parents of mentally ill children. And my claim to fame is basically um, I used to be able to tell people that I was hospitalized 6 different times. I lived in 3 different group homes, and I had a suicide attempt. And I spent 5 years on the couch, basically doing nothing in a deep, deep, dark depression. But I can't say that anymore because I'd have to say that I've been hospitalized 7 different times. And that is a surprise to me because it's just new. I was 30 years, I spent 30 years being stable and 30 years being stable, and I had a break. Actually, on Sunday night, August the 16th, I was admitted into a psych ward in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, and I was in there until September the 4th, and that was a total of 20 days. So I spent 20 days in a psych ward with the last break I had. And I'm just going to go into that a little bit and explain some of the things that happened and some of my experiences in the psych ward and some of the experiences coming home from being in the psych ward. So basically, um, on Sunday, August the 16th, um, some bizarre things were happening. I was yelling and shouting and just creating kind of a disturbance in my area, in my house, and in where my house is and my friends' houses are. And I was kind of committing doing weird things like putting mats down the website, yelling for furniture to be put in a certain space, and different things like that. So what happened is that I suppose I was out of control a little bit, um, but somebody called the police, and 4 policemen showed up at my house, and we're talking, and I had my neighbors there, Brian and Diana, and I had my other neighbor Ray and his brother-in-law Mark, and we were just really basically they were trying to calm me down. And the police officers asked me, they said, would you go to the psych ward um, if your children took you? And I'd say yes. And because I always, my daughter Hannah, she's always a very, um, she's a mature girl. She's going to be 16 in November. She'll be 16, but she's very, very mature. And so my son Dwight and Hannah drove me 40 minutes to the St. Catharines Hospital where there was a psych ward. So we did that, and then we went in, and I got taken to a certain area of the hospital. Not really sure what it was, seemed like kind of a holding center or something like that. And I have a tendency to really get impatient when being kept in an area for so long. So I was kept in an area for quite a while, and a nurse opened the door, and I was able to follow her out and get out of the door. And then I was able to kick down 2 doors, and then a bunch of security people got on top of me and injected me with some kind of a needle of something that put me out. Now, the next thing I remember is just waking up in the psych ward, and it was very disorientated. And so I was getting out of I was on the ward, and then I started to get less groggy and things like that. And I had 2 doctors actually on my list, 2 doctors who were looking after me because one of them was going away, and I had them. So what happened is the reason I believe that the reason I believe that it's so confusing on the ward and everything like that is because it's just so chaotic at first. You have no sense of direction, no sense of anything. So like I was in there for 20 days, and in there for 20 days, but it only seemed like a week and a half, or even a week almost, but I guess a week and a half. And I was mentioning that I had 2 doctors, and what happened to me, why I think I had my break, is because I was diagnosed with diabetes several months ago, maybe even a year ago. So I was taking some diabetic medication, type 2 diabetic medication. And what happened is that at one time I was taking a certain dose, and then my family doctor prescribed a different dose, and I think that my diabetes medication interfered with my antipsychotic medication. So what happened with the 2 doctors, having 2 doctors, the one doctor told me quite blankly that we're at odds because one of the doctors thought I had diabetes, and another one was saying no, that I don't have diabetes. So the lesson here is what I'm doing is I have to call my family doctor tomorrow and inform him of this. And I have already made an appointment with my psychiatrist to go over the medications and everything like that. And so there's 2. So I guess though, if there's a lesson here, the lesson would be maybe always go through your psychiatrist for any mental medication changes that you're going to go for. Because when it comes to psychosis and it comes to your mind, your mental health, it seems to me that it would be really important to follow your psychiatrist rather than your family doctor. So that's what's going to happen in the near future. Now, I do want to mention, I do want to give credit to my daughter Hannah, who took care of kind of like my business and all my personal friends, sending them emails and different things like that, saying that, I'm back and I'm out of the hospital and everything like that. So that was a good thing. Now, another thing that I just want to end with here, which was very neat, is after those 20 days and coming home that Friday night, I ran into my neighbor Ray, And literally, Ray opened his arms and ran to me with his brother-in-law, Mark, and they both hugged me and shook my hand and welcomed me back home. And later that day, uh, my next door neighbors, Brian and Diana Kelly, next to them, um, they welcomed me back and took me into the house and said, "Oh, we're glad you're back, and is there anything we can do for you?" and everything like that. And yeah, and so another neighbor, Greg came over and was talking to me and asking me how I was, and we're talking back and forth. And I really got a lot of support. And 30 years, I can say 30 years ago, when I first went through my psychosis, um, I probably wouldn't, I'd probably be shunned away or something like that. But it just shows you that what has really changed in the last 30 years is the compassion and the realization that a lot of people have mental illness and go through mental illness. So that's basically my story for tonight. And I just wanted to share that with you. And I look forward to future podcasts where we'll have guests coming on again and we'll gain insight into this. I have another surprise to tell people probably in another month or so, but I look forward to telling you all a project that we're working on that I'm sure you'll find interesting. Our website is not up to par right now. We're just working on it, we're rebuilding it. So if you want to keep knowing what's going on uh, here with helping parents of mentally ill children, just send me an email at Bill McPhee, and McPhee is MacPhee. So Bill McPhee, the number 62 at gmail.com. So Bill McPhee 62 at gmail.com, and just put in the subject line that you'd like to be added to our list, our email list, to tell you what's going on with everything and to share with you upcoming guests. Okay, so that's all I have for you tonight. So have a great day, everybody, and may God bless. Bye bye for now.